really great question for these times, from somebody who is starting a business that is about, you know, caring for suffering. It's about love. It's about bringing people together for the good of the world, right? Which so many of our businesses are about. But of course, because of our very political times, this person is getting cornered by some friends and colleagues saying, "Why aren't you taking this stance? If you really cared about the world, if you really cared about the suffering of others, you should be taking this stance. You should know better, and you should take this stance." And when this person says, "But when such and such thing happens, suffering happens on both sides, and we need to be more holistically compassionate to be to be able to really serve." Anyway, I don't want to put words in this person's mouth, but essentially, we need to be we there is benefit in taking a more neutral stance rather than a polarized stance that attacks some side as being dumb or evil or misinformed or all of the above. Okay. Usually it's all of the above. It's like, you should know better. Anyway, so what do I say about this? So here's the thing. Given that, I'm going to speak to that person now without mentioning their name. Given that, and all of you who might resonate with this, given that you are building your business online, your organization online, the beautiful thing about online, there's ugly parts to online, which is there are going to be criticisms from every side. But the beautiful part of online is that you can be, the more courageous you are in taking a particular stance, and the more courageous and prolific you are in taking a particular stance, even if the stance is heterodox. Heterodox is a term I don't know if I'm saying the right word. Please comment below if I'm saying the right word or not. The heterodox term that says, let's learn from both sides or both or whatever sides so that we can actually achieve a higher level solution than saying you're dumb, our side is right. Because that every side says that, right? Who gets really like dug in. And it's like, I have friends. I can't, it's like, I thought they were my friend. No, they voted for who? You know, they voted for what? They say what? They're not my friend. I thought they were intelligent. No, they are. I think they are. We just need to see anyway. So, all right, you got me. So, even if your stance is strongly heterodox and togetherness, and let's transcend rather than bicker and fight and point fingers and be in our blind spots, you might say. Let's transcend and then see it from a higher point of view, and then therefore, if you stand strongly in that stance and then prolifically there, you will find your tribe. Your tribe will find you, and you will find your tribe. And in fact, not only will that happen, and I'm talking to myself too. I'm about to come out. Yeah, politically. This year I'm coming out politically, and I'm trying to be mindful of not taking a side, because I too feel very, very strongly about one side versus the other, and I'm trying to be heterodox about it too. So and I my my privilege of moving to a lower cost country and having lower cost of living allows me that freedom to say, what the hell? If I burn it all down, I burn it all down, and I gotta stand in my principles. But to be more aligned with what the person is asking. What about for business? So here's the tricky part. You can either, well, what are you going to do, right? You have friends on probably both sides, right? Maybe strongly on one side versus the other. For example, almost all of my clients are deep progressives, right? Like strongly AOC, progressives. And so I can't do anything but take that side if I'm going to be public about it in the past. And otherwise, I'll lose all my business, right? I'll lose most of my business. People will cancel me or whatever. So, but my business isn't about politics. So like if I came out politically, it would be a side thing, right? But this person's organization or mission is closer to, you know, it's going to be closer to political issues. And so you can either take one side and if you make a business calculation and you actually believe in one side and you say, well, I got plenty of people that I know who are going to support me if I take the side, you should take that side. Even though it's not, maybe you say, well, I do see the points of the other side too. But I feel more strongly on this side. You should take that side if you believe it, and it's good for business, right? It's because most of your audience is that. Um, or right, or you could do that, or you could take the heterodox side and say, you know what? I believe in this particular stance. It's more aligned with my organization principles, my business principles, and I'm gonna loudly proclaim it, and I'm gonna trust that. And guess what? People will start messaging you privately. Some people who said, I never want to speak up until this moment, and I still don't, will message you privately and say, I am so glad you're saying what you're saying. And you're right. You might be at first criticized by both sides because both sides don't like you taking a higher side, right? People won't accept a higher perspective when they're so certain about their perspective being the one right way. Do you recognize fundamentalism, right? When you hear it, do you recognize cultism when you hear it, right? One right way. I don't care if it's the higher way, it's not the right way. So if you take that way, the way that you believe, not only will some people start to message you and spread the word about you privately, okay, which means you should have an email newsletter, right? And social media presence. But social media is tricky because if they like your page, their friends might see it. Their friends will see it. So they're more likely join your email list than anyway. And then and then people who are public already about the position that you're on will start to follow you. They'll start to subscribe. They'll start to contact you. And you should also actively look for aligned angels as well. From the very beginning, look for aligned angels who are already fighting the good fight or fighting the higher fight, you might say, and go, my God, there's this entire industry actually. And I can say this because I've been looking into the heterodox position for years. So I can there's braver angels, there's a couple of them. I'm like, there's heterodox academy. There's several. Anyway, if you start there and then like go to the people that they align with and that they collaborate with, you'll find this entire ecosystem is already there, waiting for you to come along with your voice. So anyway, I hope this is helpful. But yeah, I hope this also encourages and inspires some of you to take the stance that you believe. So thanks.